What's up, everyone?
Oh my god. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Gotta Watch Them All Lured Up, episode 11. My name is Ken Pescator, joined by my two co-hosts, Adam Tuttle and Melissa Pescator. What's going on, guys?
Hi, friends.
The Adam delay.
The Adam delay is always on the way. I'm here. I'm ready to do this.
What's going on? This is
everything. Dude, this is the mother of all updates.
Dude, this is the mother of all updates. I'm so excited to talk about it. There's so much going on, and man, they are keeping their fingers on the pulse because everyone's fired up right now, and I had a great day playing. I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to getting into it. But today is Sunday, December 10th, 2017. We had the mother of all updates drop this week, and it has been a good time. They started off with a trailer. I think this came out on the 6th. They dropped this trailer with Gen 3. They show Groudon as a legendary raid boss or something. It's just, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to break down. There was a chance that this episode could have been like 2 or 3 hours long with how much stuff has been going on. But let's start with experiences because I want to see how it's been for you because we spent pretty much the whole day out playing.
Yes.
I think we did like 6 or 7 hours of playing where we started off with raiding, did a couple raids, did some Ho-Ohs, which was cool because we were able to fight Ho-Oh in the different weather conditions, so it was a little bit more challenging, but we had a big group, so it was all good. And then the second half of our day, we did indoor mall walk because, you know, it's like 30 degrees out and snowing and stuff in Jersey. So we were in the mall walking around and just catching Pokemon. We had an awesome day.
Yeah.
Like it was
fun.
a perfect blend. We started with 3 Ho-Oh raids in a row and all 3 had Solar Beam, which was brutal. The extra 20% buff, it made so much of a difference with how long it took. But we had a huge group. I think we started with 10, and then at the end of our little 3-raid run, we had 18.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. The last Ho-Oh we did, I don't know, it was
annihilated
40 seconds or something like that. We just did one group. We didn't break up into different teams or anything. I went 2 for 3. Melissa's brother that was with us went 2 for 3. Melissa went 1 for 3.
Yeah, I only caught the last one.
It was cool because, you know, now we're going to get into the different stuff that they announced in the trailers, but there was a lot of things affecting the Ho-Oh raids today that were making them different than previous raids. Now, Adam, how's the weather been by you? Because we're going to get into the weather update that dropped along with this, but how's it been by you, and how have you been playing over the past couple days since the announcement, since the trailer?
So when Gen 3 dropped, I want to know where everyone was. So tweet us and let us know, where were you when Gen 3 dropped? I happened to clock in for work, and then you sent me the picture of the shadows, and I was like, or the silhouettes, and I was like, no, I'm stuck at work and I can't go anywhere. This is ridiculous. But I opened up my game, and instantly on the radar was a routes. And I was like,
wow.
Nice.
Yes, at least something, you know, at least I got one Gen 3. And then I was like, I'm not going to keep my Go Plus on because I want to be there for every single catch. All the new ones.
Routes is a solid catch for your first non-Ghost Gen 3. That's pretty awesome. You know, we were seeing Wurmples everywhere. That was like our fodder, but the game is running better. I think that the backgrounds, the way the skies look, we're going to get into the dynamic weather that they announced, but this has been such an awesome week because everything, as it's been playing out, it kind of reminds you of everything that's great about this game. And it's cool how the game is progressing and moving forward. And it's like, it makes you feel like old times when you're playing, but you have so much more going on in the game. And it's like, wait a second, this isn't like old times. You know, this is like, we're in the now, like new things are happening.
Everything's new. It's so cool to like show people that are like, oh, you're playing Pokemon. And I'm like, yeah, but guess what? It's snowing outside. And it's snowing in the game. Yeah. And they're like, oh, whatever. And then you click the Pokemon and there's snow falling and they're like, oh, okay, that's wicked cool.
All right. So let's break down this trailer that they came out with earlier in the week. And this was kind of our first impressions of what we could expect with Gen 3. So just like when they did the Legendary Raid trailer, it's the same big production, awesome music, really gripping cinematography, like really, really cool trailer. And they show off a ton of Gen 3 Pokemon, including Salamence, Shiftry, Aggron. They show Ludicolo, and then with the finale of the trailer is they show Groudon as a legendary boss, which is absolutely amazing. So all that's happening, and then they also show dynamic weather, which is when they show the Ludicolo, there's a little umbrella over his head for the rain icon, and in the game it's raining. And then along with the press release that they did for the trailer, they start explaining what these weather conditions are. And this, for me, this was such a fun thing, and it makes the mundane stuff like catching a Pidgey or catching a Wurmple a little bit more exciting, because now, according to what the weather is, you're going to have different Pokemon that are going to be spawning more frequently. They're going to have stronger Pokemon. You get bonus Stardust for catching them. All that happening just adds to the regular, I'm walking around and just catching regular Pokemon thing. And I don't know, I found myself drawn to this weather feature so much because we saw in one day, we saw sunny, cloudy. The next day we had snow. Then it was like windy. So we got to see a couple different things going on just in the first couple days of this weather being live. I mean, what conditions have you seen up in New Hampshire?
I've seen clear, cloudy, partly cloudy, snow. It did rain, and I've had windy. So I'm just missing fog. That's the only one I haven't seen.
Nice. I want to see the rain, because the rain in the videos that I've seen, the in-game of the rain is the aesthetic, like the way it looks is super cool. Like that, I love the way that ended up looking. But I'm going to put the link to this. It was actually a rankedboost.com article where I first saw this, so I'm going to credit them on this link, and I'll put it in the description. But there was a website called leakduck.com that put out these really cool infographics that show each of the different weather conditions and each of the Pokemon types, all 18, that are going to be buffed because of that weather condition. So it's a real easy file to just, press and hold on your mobile device and save it, keep it in your photo album, and pull it up if you ever have, if you're ever wondering what to expect, because there has been some significant stuff happening in the raid world based on the influence of these weather conditions. Reversal soloed a Machamp raid with 2 Ho-Oh. Just 2 Ho-Oh. Fully powered up, level 40, perfect Ho-Ohs. But because of the 20% bonus for the flying stat, like he was getting with the windy condition, and they both had Brave Bird, he dominated the Machamp level 3 solo, and I think he still had 40 seconds to spare and only went through 2 Pokemon. Wow. So it's like, you're going to be able to strategize so much just off your weather conditions that this kind of influences something else we're going to be talking about, and that's the addition of battle parties, which we've been talking about for weeks really on the show because they found it in the code, but now it's here. And what the battle parties does, when you have the 2 tabs for Pokemon and eggs, now you have a 3rd tab on there for battle parties, which will give you the ability to create 5 separate teams of 6 Pokemon that you can name and organize and put whatever order you want. So when you enter a raid lobby, you don't have to dig through your inventory to find Pokemon. You can now have a preset party saved that you can pull up super easy when you're in the raid lobby, which...
That was really helpful for me today, fighting
it's the best thing ever.
Because I was able to make 2 different raid groups, one for Ho-Oh with Solar Beam and one for Ho-Oh without Solar Beam.
Right.
So, I knew who to choose right away when I went in.
Yeah, it was cool. Like, if the game doesn't recommend the golems when you're in the raid lobby, the thing is, has Solar Beam, then you could just jump right to the party, like Melissa was saying. That's going to be just for a Ho-Oh without Solar Beam or with Solar Beam. And think about this. You can create raid parties for different weather conditions. So you could have, if you're in a windy condition, you can have one that's centered around flying Pokemon so they get that buff. It's that the depth of what this is adding to the game is staggering. I think once you're going to really see a line in the sand between people that are going to be taking advantage of this and proactively going after all the different buffs that you can get from the weather, and those that don't even mess with it at all and are very passive on it. Because I don't know. I think there's a lot of end game here and a really cool way to get more out of your Pokemon and become more efficient, and then ultimately require less people to do these raids because you're going to be able to be more efficient. I don't know. I see a lot of depth in there.
I found myself eager to catch Gen 1 Pokemon today in the different raid conditions because I was like, you know what? I'm a higher level. I'm going to be catching higher level Gen 1 Pokemons. Yeah. And then with this with this weather condition, you know, now I can power them up to see, like, maybe they'll surpass the ones that I already have now with those added bonuses.
And it's going to cost you less candy because they're already, you know, 5 levels higher than the standard one you would catch because they're getting that buff from the weather. So, you know, the weather to me, this is like one of the coolest things. Is just, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see how they could add something like this to the game and how much it would affect the normal gameplay. But dude, I'm all over it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, this is awesome. I will personally say that, you know, I got upset when I saw that the snow went away and it was like still like a blizzard outside. Then I'm like, you know, at least I still got it. I got to experience the snow. I got to see it falling. Like, some people are upset.
It won't be the last time.
No, we're just entering winter.
But I think that's kind of cool because weather does change throughout the day. So, you know, that's one thing that I thought was like super awesome because as I was playing yesterday and I was watching it like come down heavy in the early afternoon and it was snowing in the game inside the house, and then as it let up later on in the night it turned into, you know, cloudy yeah. And, you know, so it was really cool watching it real time change.
Yeah, and it's like this gives you a bonus, like it's just a bonus on top of the regular gameplay. Yeah, and it changes constantly. So if you're not out there when the weather is changing, like, you know, you can't get upset about it.
The weather's going to change no matter where you are. You could sit in the house for like 10 days straight, and guess what? The weather's going to be different eventually. So just hold your horses and, you know.
No, I enjoyed the fact that when it was sunny today, we were getting increased fire spawns. I mean, for whatever reason, we were only seeing Vulpix, and that apparently that's been a very popular thing on Reddit. People were making jokes with, you know,
I want Charmander.
Don't call it, you know, fire spawns, just call it Vulpix spawns because it's just Vulpix everywhere. But that's really cool. You know, that's the fact that you're seeing increased spawns of certain types that could really help you make a hard push. Like when I think partly cloudy we saw today, and it was teetering between sunny and partly cloudy, and every time it would flip to partly cloudy, I was like, all right, we got to find some Geodude because I need, you know, I want to power up these golems. Yeah, that's my boy. You know what? I need golem candy. So it was cool being, you know, just one more layer of depth with the game, with immersion. Man, it's just, I didn't see this coming at all, and it was just really cool. Really, really cool.
You know, I'm just checking my journal right now in the game. I was going to see if maybe there was some sort of indicator in the journal that would tell you what weather condition you caught a Pokemon in. Yeah. And I think that'd be something really cool that maybe they can add. Hopefully, eventually they can Pokemon. Add.
Yeah, you're asking too much now.
No, because that's kind of necessary, really. Because if you catch a Pokemon with a weather buff, okay, I would want to be able to, as I'm scrolling through my Pokemon, be able to see that buff clear visually without having to rename them. Ooh,
there's a Slackoth in the house.
Sorry.
Exactly. Oh man, it's not spawned on mine, of course. But no, that does make sense. I mean, think about they did add the ability to see what type of Pokeball you caught the Pokemon in. You know what I mean? So it could be something like that where they just put another little stamp or an indicator saying, you know, this was a weather-based spawn. But it was totally out of left field, and it's just so cool. Now, there are people that are having issues with this, where at a certain point, and I saw this live on Reversal stream, so he goes out, and it was like freezing, it was snowing, he was like getting frostbite out there, and his game said extreme weather. Pokemon don't like this, you know, and ultimately what that means is they shut down the weather conditions in the game. So you're not going to see any increased spawns. They're saying, look, that this is a little too rough. We don't want to be held liable for you freezing to death or something like that. But people that had sunny days, you know, or a dusting of snow were getting these extreme weather conditions, and then they kind of missed out. So I'm sure they're going to work it all out, but it's, you know, I don't know where they're pulling the weather data from. You know, they went to OpenStreetMaps for for that type of thing. You know, the mapping. You know, I don't know where they're getting their weather data, but I'm sure they're going to work that all out. I'm sure, but some people were getting. There's some funny pictures up on Twitter of, you know, extreme weather condition error message on the left, and then on the right a picture like of their front lawn, and it's like sunny, and you see all their grass. It's like it's not extreme, but it was like a barrage. Every day they were releasing more information. So again, the continuation of Niantic being better communicators is still going on, which is great. They finally upgraded to 0.85.2. You know, we were at 0.1 with the release of Gen 3, and it pretty much talks about all the stuff that we've talked about so far, but something that really affects me. You can now carry 1,500 Pokemon instead of 1,000, and they gave everyone a 50 Pokemon slot, a 50 slot upgrade for free. So if you had 1,000, you got bumped up to 1,050, and then you could buy your way up to 1,500, which for me is awesome because I love banking and sitting on Pokemon and then having these big evolution parties. So I'm all over that. Does that affect you at all? Are you at 1,000 storage right now, Adam?
I am. Well, I mean, I was, and then I got the 50 buff, and then now I've upgraded to 13. Okay. 1,300.
I think Melissa's, what are you? You
I'm
got like
only
800
at 800, yeah.
What? Oh my goodness.
Get good, bro.
My box has 895 in it.
You sound like the guy.
I think I have, so yeah, when we went raiding today, we saw two of our famous characters. We have the expert was there, and he was in full force today. And then the one we were talking about last week, what we're gonna call I'm 5 minutes away. That's that person's name.
Yeah.
That person was there. The person we needed that we were waiting on for the Ho-Oh that we failed on, that we were talking about last week. Because we were waiting on that person. I'm just 5 minutes away, and then they never showed up. That person was there today. So
it's like, you finally made it. Thanks, bro.
Oh, that was great. But yeah, I'm excited about the expanded bag. I'm all over that. I think I have 1,300 in my bag already. Pokemon.
Now, on a personal opinion level, do you feel that we need more storage in our items?
Yes.
Absolutely, because I run into items being maxed out at all times, and now it's a little bit different. I've seen the distribution of items really shift from Pokestops because, you know, I'll go and do an hour and a half worth of straight Pokestop grinding, like driving around with a Go Plus or something. And it's crazy where you're not getting revives anymore. You're not getting high level potions, and the berries are out of control, and the regular potions, standard potions, I'm getting like crazy. So everything's kind of out of whack right now, but there's still be plenty of times where I would hit, you know, the item cap and then just feel like I don't want to delete anything. And that's when you're like, man, I could really use some more storage. But I don't know. They bang you out for the cost of it. You know what I mean? Because it's just digital space that you're buying, you know. Mm-hmm. So yeah. they totally bang you out.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like if we just had an extra 100 just to compensate for like new items incoming.
That's like you scratch your neck and you're like, just 100 more spaces. let me get 100.
You start twitching a little bit.
Well, no, I think that would be fair. I don't know.
Well, I think that's why they bumped up everyone for free with 50 spaces in the Pokemon storage. They released 50 new Pokemon, so they don't want to, you know,
anybody to cry that they can't fit
they
one
can't,
of everything.
Right? Like you can, you know, they move on from that conversation because they're giving you the space to do it. But so much happening. It's absolutely insane. And then they noticed. Did we talk about the star piece? No, the star piece.
No, star piece, man.
So yeah, so when the APK mine came out of I think of 0.85.1, they even found it. It's a new item in the game. It's going to be available in the store. It kind of looks like a max revive, but it's iridescent. Looks really cool.
It's pretty.
It is pretty. And this is going to be a purchasable item, so it's consumable. You can get it in 1, 8, or 25 pieces. So it's kind of like, I think that you know, that kind of tier, but it's going to increase Stardust gain by 50% for 30 minutes. So this is going to be like a lucky egg for Stardust, but where a lucky egg doubles your XP, this is only giving you a 0.5 modifier on the Stardust. So hopefully it won't cost the same as lucky eggs. But this is cool. This is cool. Because if you really are desperate for Stardust, this can help you out if you're just doing like a grind session.
I like my Stardust.
Do you think this is a piece we can get from raids?
I don't know. Or even Pokestops. I don't know. I didn't think of that. I don't know if this is just going to be in store or if this is something that you can find, because I would love it if you could get lucky eggs as a reward. Like if they gave you you could get lucky eggs as a raid reward. That'd be kind of cool if they threw it in like with the kind of like the TM scarcity, where instead of a TM, maybe they throw you a lucky egg. I mean, at this point, because of all these darn holiday boxes that I've bought, I think I have like 50 lucky eggs or something. So I mean, I'm no good on that. I don't need any additional ones, but that'd be cool if you can get it as a reward. But they'll probably just put it in the store because they, talk about listening to feedback. It can work two ways for the company. It's like, all right, let's make this modification to the game, but obviously everyone's starving for Stardust. The game does very well when they do double Stardust events. So this is a great consumable for them to sell in the store because there's a high demand for Stardust. So people are going to pay for the ability to earn more, so I think it's a smart move on their part, and I think a lot of people will appreciate it because they need that sweet, sweet dust.
Yeah, I'll appreciate it.
I'm about to get up over 2 million again.
Oh my God, I only have
You've got 500,000.
Yeah, almost 500,000.
Yeah, but you haven't powered anyone up in a bit, though.
I know, exactly. So I should have more than that because I haven't powered anyone up.
Well, no, because you need to grind more with catches. You could always do more, yo. Speaking of grinding, we're talking about all these different Pokemon that are in Gen 3. They gave us 50, and of course, in that 50 that they give us and in the lineup of Gen 3 in general, there's going to be specific Pokemon that are going to be like the fodder, the replacement for like the Pidgeys, the Caterpies, the Weedles. And in this case, it's Wurmple. And Wurmple's unique because it has a split evolution. They haven't quite put their finger on how Wurmple, if there's a convention or a method to the madness with how it's going to evolve. Because Wurmple, Silcoon, Beautifly, or Wurmple, Cascoon, Dustox. So I evolved a Wurmple into a Silcoon and then a Silcoon into the Beautifly today. Then evolved a second Wurmple and I got another Silcoon. So I don't know if, there's reports that it's completely random. People are doing a lot of A/B testing, like daytime testing, nighttime testing. I'll be interested in following Pokemon Go Hub to see what kind of data they put out. But, there's going to be so many of these things. I don't think it'll be a big deal to just trial and error. And you're ultimately going to end up with both because this is definitely the most common one for me in my area. What about you, Adam? What have you been seeing the most of?
The most that I've seen is Gulpin.
Really?
Gulpin seems to be like the one that I'm seeing mostly.
No,
I've caught so many of them.
We've seen Zigzagoon too.
Yeah, a lot of Zigzagoon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's Rosalia is at my work. That's like the number one spawn that's at my work, and then Gulpin is usually on the way home.
I saw a lot of Rosalia today as well.
Super high CP, 1300 CP. That's a great looking Pokemon in motion. Like that Pokemon looks really cool when you're actually seeing it, and it looks great in AR photos. And the AR has been improved with the latest update also. And this is, I can't wait to get a better phone and ultimately be able to play with this, a solid, good camera that I could take better pictures with, because I think it's time. I think it's time for the upgrade.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
I'm gonna jump off the phone bridge and just do it. iPhone X.
Yeah.
iPhone X. Yeah. I need that. But anyway, so Wurmple is the new evolution fodder. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out with the way it evolves. But
I would like to know for a fact, for 100% certainty, what I'm going to evolve it into when it evolves. Because if I have 100% Wurmple, or if I have 200% Wurmples, I would like to know that I'm going to get one as a Dustox and one as a Beautifly.
Right.
None of this random stuff. Jeez, that would be the worst. You have 200%, they're just Beautiflies. Like, no.
I need one of each.
Right? No, seriously. That actually, like, my head hurts, like, thinking about that.
I think that they're going to be so common that you're going to end up with... I see what you're saying with the 100%. See, for me, I wouldn't power up the 100%, so I'd leave them because, I still have, I still have the 100% APOM I haven't touched. Like, I don't see the point in...
Because it evolves into Ambipom.
Yeah, but still...
It's going to be good.
All right. That's a good segue. Pokemon that are good in Gen 3. There's a couple.
A couple is 2, Ken. There's more than 2 here.
There's a bunch.
All right, there's 5. Well, and then
there's a handful.
We still got to talk about Delibird. We still got to talk about Delibird too, because that's a whole nother thing too. But there's 5 real Pokemon to note here of the 50 that are already have been released. So there could be more down the road, but these are the big 5. So Hariyama. Hariyama evolves from Makuhita. This is ultimately going to be a better fighting Pokemon choice than Machamp. This is the new Machamp, right? Because it has similar attack stats, but much better stamina than Machamp. So you're going to get a beefier Pokemon in Hariyama with the same ability of fighting with Machamp.
Yeah, it's like Snorlax plus Machamp.
Yeah, exactly. And they did just announce now that Blaziken can learn Focus Blast, so the fire fighting, so you can have a dual type that's going to be a contender for a fighting Pokemon, but it's still not going to be as good as Hariyama, but there's now going to be way more diversity with these dual types, and which I love because as the game progresses and as these Pokemon become a little bit more in depth, you can really parse out your team, and using the battle parties, have specific teams built out for different situations. It's going to be awesome when you need a firefighting and you can really take advantage of a strong dual type attacker. Yes, please. Sign me up. All right. Gardevoir. Now this evolves from Ralts and Kirlia. You said you caught a Ralts in the wild. We're going to get to this.
I've only seen one.
That's a 10K spawn. So a 10K egg spawn. So we'll get to the eggs in a minute, but
is the rarity
that's definitely rare. Yeah.
So the rarity on Ralts is like a Lavatar?
Exactly. Yep. Like a Dratini, like a Larvitar. Exactly. So.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Beldum or a Bagon either.
Either have I. And then speaking of Beldum, Metagross will evolve from Beldum, Steel Psychic type, better Psychic type attacker than Alakazam. So better and a higher CP. So, you're starting to see the Pokemon that we've sunk a lot of Stardust and, candy into are starting to get edged out by some of these newer Gen 3 Pokemon. Now we have Salamence, who evolves from Bagon and then ultimately Shelgon, which is a Dragon type. Not as good as Dragonite, but we talked about Draco Meteor, the move being added to the game. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of moves added too we got to talk about. But Draco Meteor, I'm sure, will have a really awesome animation, and if you want to see it, the only place you're going to be able to see it is through Salamence for right now. And it's just a badass looking Pokemon, and it's featured in the trailer. And then finally, the big boy, Slacking, who evolves from Slackoth and then Vigoroth. But this is a normal type Pokemon, but ridiculously stupid CP, 4,500 and 48 CP max. So, talk about big boys. This is the king of...
The Slacking.
It is the Slacking of big fat Pokemon. So Slacking is also a huge contender for the big attackers, for the top attackers in the game. We were talking about how his signature move Play Rough would work, because in the main series games, you could only use it every other turn, and that was like kind of how they balanced out the fact that this thing was so huge and big and strong. So what they did in Pokemon Go was the only quick move you can get is Yawn, and Yawn does 0 damage, and all it does is build your charge moves. So that's how they kind of slow down production of damage with Play Rough. But the Play Rough attack is exceptionally powerful. So this is going to be cool. I mean, I'm plenty of candy away. I think I only caught 2 Slackoth today in the wild, but I'm plenty of candy away from even evolving into a Slacking. I'm looking forward to kind of messing around with this to see exactly how this will work with, is it boring to attack with them? Is it, you're going to like...
I don't like it. It'll make me anxious.
That's what I'm
getting
saying.
Sleepy just thinking about it. Yeah.
Like, what if you use a TM to try and change the move?
Well, Yawn is always going to be the only quick move.
Always. So
always.
No matter what.
So no matter what, you're going to be doing that.
So you can't change.
You could change your charge move.
But you can't change your...
But you can't change your quick move.
That's corny.
But no.
I think that's corny.
But that's what makes it... That's how they balance off saying,
one.
hey, you could have 4,500 CP.
One.
Man.
One. Change it and at least do one.
So, speaking of these charge moves, there was a graphical interface change, which I really like in raids. They kind of made a simple concept even more simple, where it's no more tap and charge or tap and press and hold, because now it's just tap, 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 tap. They made a big icon. Have you raided since the interface update, Adam?
I haven't raided, but I played in some gyms, and I've seen that animation.
So they put a button at the bottom of the screen for your charge move. So now it's not even a charge move. You just tap the button.
Which I didn't see at first because my thumb was over it.
It's exactly where, and that's
I
what.
love it.
Well, this is what makes it an easy thing even easier, because now you don't even have to look at the screen to see when you're charged up. You just tap, tap, tap where that button is, and you'll ultimately just have maximum DPS because you're just tap, 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 and then letting off the charge, your charge move as fast as you can in the mix. So it makes you a better fighter because your DPS output's going to be way higher because you're going to be pulling off those charge moves as early and as quick as you possibly can.
If you battle that way, because I don't battle that way. I like to dodge. So, and sometimes I actually like some of my guys have two blasts of their charge. So I sometimes will wait and charge both of them up, wait for the raid boss to do its big attack, and then blast it with the two.
No, I'm going full DPS the whole time.
That's how I roll. That's why you like cookie clickers, click, 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 click.
No,
click,
but
click,
that's
click,
but that's made that it has been changing though, because with the
The
lack of resources, we don't have revives anymore. So maybe I will start dodging a little bit. But no, I was dodging some solar beams. My Gyarados was actually surviving.
Get good.
My Gyarados was surviving solar beams today.
I was getting annihilated by the solar beam.
Well, dude, when it was getting
shots, all my electric Pokemon, it was just like, good night, Irene.
Yeah,
bye. See ya.
The solar beam's no joke. But Melissa noticed she was fighting Ho-Oh with a solar beam Ho-Oh, and she was hanging.
Yeah, and he was really doing well against it. And that was on my second battle where my first team got literally wiped out within the first 15, 20 seconds. I was like, what the heck happened here?
She got the dodge glitch too.
So I just let it pick my next set. I didn't pick my second battle team because I knew that we were going to be doing another raid and I had very little revive. So I strategically was like, all right, let me just let them, let it pick whatever it does.
We'll carry you.
No, well, I hate your guts. So I wound up picking the two Ho-Ohs that I had, and the rest of the match I used just the two Ho-Ohs. And that's when the third one we did, I purposely brought in my Ho-Ohs.
Well, Solar Beam is going to do big damage, and you were getting the bonus, just like it was getting the damage bonus against us, you were getting the damage bonus against it. So, again, the weather playing into effect, that's why you're able to, put out
Yeah, it was a cool
damage.
day for Pokemon.
No,
and it was
good.
so exciting. It's been so exciting seeing just shadows.
Yeah.
Getting that
it's so nice.
Shadows.
And you're like, what is it? Because you don't really know.
Yeah, because I don't know a lot of the Gen 3. But then once I see it, I'm like, oh, wait a second, I do know this one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't know what the silhouette looks like. When we saw Trico for the first time today, it was like, what is that?
I'm just going, what is it? It's green. It's got something long at the butt.
But, so what, how many, you got the game open, Adam?
I don't at the moment, but I did want to quickly just jump in and say that I did see somebody this morning, and I thought it was really weird that they were by themselves doing a Poliwrath raid. But thinking about how grass it's powered up during the clear and sunny.
Right.
I think they might have been onto something, doing extra damage with grass Pokemon by themselves. I don't know if you can solo a Poliwrath, but
that's what I'm saying. That's what Reversal did.
They probably tried.
That's what Reversal did with Machamp. And because of the weather, he was able to pull it off. So well. So it's like, I'm telling you, the trainers that take advantage of the weather stuff are going to have a significant edge.
Well, it's also the trainers that understand the weather
That's
stuff.
what I'm talking about. Because when PvP comes into play, and if that works into PvP, if you have a working knowledge of how to manipulate the weather and maximize your stuff, maximum effort, during these weather conditions, you're going to have a major edge.
You're like, it might be rainy, but my electric and bug and water Pokemon are going to defeat you.
Open the game up. Bring up your Hoenn badge. Go into your journal.
My battle party? Oh no, I don't have Delibirds yet, so I can't create one.
Well, Delibird is coming. We know that. So I'm very excited for you, by the way.
When he drops our next episode, we're just going to start with 10,000 air horns, and we're just going to scream, Delibird! Delibird!
All right, go into your
Yeah, one
your
second.
medals.
A C dot just appeared, and I don't have a shifter yet, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna get the candies there. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh. Yes. Okay, I caught it.
All right, nice. I have 21 Gen 3 Pokemon at the moment. Melissa's shown 17.
17.
See, but I did a couple of evolutions. I evolved a Zigzagoon. I evolved the Wurmple.
I have not evolved anything.
Yeah, I had a Lucky Eggs running while I was in the mall today, so I wanted to, maximize that on our downtime. I was like, I got to do something. Let me evolve some stuff.
I have 18 out of 40.
So cool. So we're all kind of keeping pace with each other now. How we were talking about the rollout of Gen 3, and where did you stand on it, Adam? Did you want it all to come at once, or were you okay with them saying, here's 50?
I was okay with this, because this is still, exciting. I was super excited to see a Nuzleaf today. Like I said, I haven't evolved anything, but seeing a wild Nuzleaf, I was like, yes, I don't have that. I'm going to get the extra bonus for
I caught a wild Nuzleaf today, too. Yay! But what about you?
I'm stoked. I'm stoked to get, Slacking, just all these Pokemon, it just changes the meta, and it's awesome seeing these different Pokemon in gyms because people just want those candies. So they're throwing, Slackoth and all the basic forms in the gyms, trying to get the candies.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You gotta suck up every opportunity to do it. And, I know a lot of people have already switched over to Gen 3 buddies so they can start racking it up, but what about you, Melissa? Would you want all Gen 3 at once, or
I'm happy with getting just a little taste of it. I'm cool with it.
So this is my theory here, and it's brilliant what I think they're doing. So obviously, when a new generation's announced, the re-engagement and the engagement of core players is going to be turned to 11. Everyone's going to be dedicated to the game. Everyone's going to be out there playing because they want the new Pokemon. So we're all kind of moving at the same pace here. Between 17 and 21 Pokemon so far in Gen 3. So think about this. We stay hyper engaged for the next couple weeks or whatever, catching these 50 Pokemon. And then once we get those 50 Pokemon, let's say they drop another 30. So now when they dropped another 30, it's not like they're going to be the only Gen 3 Pokemon in the mix. So the amount of time for us to catch the next 30 is going to be greater than what it would have been when they announced the first 50. Because now those 30 are in the mix with everything else. So now you're going to be able to stretch out the length of time before you can drop the next wave of them. And I don't know. I just think that progression is an awesome, awesome marketing way to keep people engaged over time with the game because this is what they need. This is what they need to keep this engagement going. And I love the fact that all the people that were talking smack about Pokemon Go and all that stuff, there's crickets right now. There's nothing they could say. And, oh, man, that makes me feel great. I love that.
Yeah, because the last update was correct.
Dude.
It was correct.
There were so many times during the day we were like, I love this game.
Yeah, I remember when I was at work on Friday and I left for break and I turned the game on as I'm pulling out of the parking lot. I was not driving. As I'm parked in my parking spot. And I turn the game on. And I see the shadow on the thing, and I start screenshotting, right? And as I'm screenshotting, Ken's trying to text me, Gen 3 is live. And I'm thinking, crud, I got 2 more hours before, I could actually play. So I start driving to go on my break, and when I get to my next destination, Gen 3 Pokemon popped. And that was the first time I noticed the change in just the backgrounds of the Pokemon.
The backgrounds look awesome.
I was blown away. How realistic it looked because it was sunny and clear out at that point. So I was like, oh my God, the weather. Oh my goodness. Look at the background. Oh my God, it's so pretty. It looks realistic. This is so cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was like a mind explosion that the thought of it only being 50 Pokemon didn't even...
Yeah, it didn't even cross your mind.
Didn't even cross my mind because I was so happy with all these there were so many other things to explore now.
The weather is like a mini event. You open the game you're like, okay, cool, it's sunny. I have a chance to catch these Pokemon. Oh, it's raining. I have a chance to catch more of these types. Like and then if you catch those types, you get an extra Stardust bonus. So it's like every day is a Stardust bonus as long as you can catch those Pokemon.
Well, and it makes you not care necessarily to catch the boring stuff because you're getting bonuses off it. So you're
exactly.
just, you're exploiting the fact that you can do that. So I don't know, man. This was an awesome day of playing, and this has been a great week. And it's been a great week for Pokemon Go content creators. The videos have been rocking on YouTube. Everyone's podcasting about it. Man, it's just good.
They got us talking.
Yeah,
They're like, happy holidays,
working.
Everybody.
Yeah, dude, you need a vacay.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Even my boss even texted me literally just before he left. He goes, "Hey, do you want to work like an extra 4 hours in the morning?" And I'm like,
no, I really
geez.
don't. I really want my life.
And it's like I can't. I was gonna use tomorrow and like get stuff done.
Yeah,
live a
little bit.
I hope you said
Live,
no.
yeah.
Oh, speaking of life, eggs. Let's talk about eggs.
Oh, eggies.
So they did some analysis on the eggs that are out there, and we were saying before, you got a Routes, which was a 10K hatch along with Slackoth. So finding a Slackoth in the wild, and the one that spawned in my house from Melissa does not spawn for me, even though, listen to this, right now in my house, Abra, Hoot Hoot, 2 Hoot Hoots, and a Zigzagoon, and a Slackoth. Dude,
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
I'm turning the game back on.
So it's because of the weather and these increased spawns, it's so cool. Anyway, all right, let's get back to the eggs. So 2K eggs, Gulpin, Wurmple, Poochyena, Spoink, and Skitty. 5K eggs, Shroomis, Makuhita, Seedot, Wynot, Azurill, Trico, Torchic, Mudkip. So the starters are in 5Ks, and the 2 babies are in 5Ks. The babies being Wynot and Azurill. So I'm assuming, if they follow the same convention as before, that the only way to get the babies will be through eggs. So Wynot and Azurill only in 5Ks. And then our 10K hatches so far, Routes and Slackoth. One of the guys, the raid organizers in the area, Paul, while we were at one of the Ho-Oh raids today, he hatched an Azurill, so he was super fired up. He was like, yeah! It was great. It was great. It was cool to see. But man, it just, so much going on. So much going on. It's so great. And there was an article on TechCrunch.com where they were interviewing a marketing person from Niantic who slipped in the fact that on the 21st, a holiday event is going to start. So,
Delibird.
Delibird is coming. It's the sound effects have been added to the game. Present is there. Adam's going to get his
if you want to hear the sound animation, just listen to our last Gotta Watch 'Em All episode.
Yeah, Adam's playing it on repeat. we
great.
recorded that last Thursday, so we recorded that 4 days ago. That's when they kind of made the announcement for Delibird, and Adam was just playing that on repeat. Just
it's the best sound.
It was awesome. Pokemon Go Hub was like, whose signature move is present? And I'm like, Delibird!
Dude, and thank you to the internet, everyone out there that was tagging Adam in the Delibird announcements, and it was so funny. I put a post up on Instagram or on Facebook or something saying like, I know what Adam's getting for Christmas. He's getting Delibird. It'll be interesting to see if they do another event kind of like double something, double dust, double XP or anything, because I don't know what else they could bring right now to get people excited, because everyone is just in this state of, madness right now. Oh, I got another thing to talk about. I did, along with Melissa, our first sponsored gym raid today. Ever. So we did a raid at a Sprint store in the mall. It was a Nidoking.
Yes.
And I think we had 20 people in the room. It went down like nothing. And we saw like batches of people in all these different corners like playing the game. It was really cool. But I'm hoping for an EX pass. There was another wave of EX passes that went out for the 18th, I think the raid is. Now, in the trailer, they do show Groudon. What if this next wave, and we've kind of speculated like this on Ho-Oh, what if this next wave of passes is going to be inviting you for a Groudon raid?
Oh my god.
That would be insane.
That would be dope.
That would be awesome. Some people are saying too soon. Some people are saying too soon.
I honestly think it'd be too soon, because
He's in the trailer, man.
Well, we were thinking Ho-Oh, and Ho-Oh and Lugia were shown in the same trailer.
They were.
True.
They
were both shown as in raids. So, honestly, I think Rayquaza and Deoxys should be EX raids, because those are like the Mewtwo of Gen 3.
Right.
And I mean, we still don't have Mew. We still don't have Celebi.
Right.
So, in all honesty, I think those are all EX raids, but they need to understand the system better and like figure that out, because I don't know how they change up EX raid passes.
I don't know, but I'm excited to have done a raid at a sponsored gym, because that's the first one I've ever done. So give me that pass.
Yeah.
Give me that pass. But it's a new gym that I already had the badge, but I hadn't had the gym leveled up or anything like that. So I don't have a high level there. And they did say, if you have a higher level at the gym, they're going to give you a better chance of getting an EX pass. But
that's not necessarily true, because my pass was given to me the first time I've ever went to Love Park.
Yeah,
never battled there before, never even laid eyes on it before. So you never know.
Well, they're all over the place with the EX, so we'll see what happens.
That's why it's in quote unquote testing.
No, the field test is over, they said.
What?
I honestly should just drive up to the only sponsored gym I know of, which is an hour away, but it's like it's a Sprint store in a mall. But it's like, I should just go there and just take over the gym, and then like wait for somebody else to take it over, and then right before a raid happens, just sit there and try to do every single raid that pops up, and then go home after. Well,
that's the thing. I'm glad I got it in, because I just need to up my chances of potentially getting one, because I do want a Mewtwo. I do. With other raid bosses potentially coming into the mix, I just don't want to miss Mewtwo. I don't know if it'll go away. We don't know how they'll play it out. But
they can't take him away.
But what if they replace him with a different, they say, okay, it's going to be Celebi, or it's going to be, Groudon. Who knows? But will they keep...
Because this is why. This is why. They're not going to take him away, and this is why. Because he's not a Pokemon that you can get out in the wild.
Right.
Exactly. So they're not going to take
Articuno,
they're not going to take
Zapdos,
something away that you
Moltres,
can't.
Suicune.
But they gave it back.
But then
to
do
us.
they have multiple EXs at one time?
But you had the opportunity when
Riker.
those Pokemon were out. You had the opportunity as many times as you wanted to, as within that time frame that they were out, to go and catch as many as you want. With Mewtwo, you are only allowed to catch him, only have an opportunity to catch him if you're invited. So they're never going to take him away, because they want to keep that linger over you forever. They want you to forever be like... But right now, if you get an EX pass, you're going to go against Mewtwo. And
then
once they release a second one, then you're going to have that giddy of...
So that's what I'm saying.
Oh my God,
it could be
you get a new colored
pass.
One. So like a purple one now is for
Or you got to wait for the egg to pop.
Exactly.
No, you got to wait for the egg to pop, just like it is now. Like,
exactly.
You don't know what it could be until it pops.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Oh man, imagine having like 5 Mewtwo's, and you're like, just make it a Groudon, and it's like another Mewtwo.
Oh my God.
No, I'll take 5 Mewtwo's.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take 1.
I did catch a Zangoose, which is Delibird's long lost cousin as far as colors go, but let's talk about really quick before we wrap up. There was some regional information that was released. So it looks like this side of the world, the Americas, have Zangoose and Plusle as our regional exclusives, and the other side of the world has Seviper and Minun. So they're splitting up Plusle and Minun.
That hurts me bad. That hurts me. I don't like it. I feel so incomplete.
I don't know.
We're going on world tour.
Dude. Yeah, let's go to Amsterdam. I want to go to Amsterdam.
Let's do it.
I want to catch them. Yeah, no, then we could play with, we get some Stroopwafel.
Yeah, we can hang out with Reversal.
Get some Stroopwafel. That's all.
Stroopwafel.
So much information. I want to cut it out so we can be, I don't want to go over an hour and, we could ramble on forever and ever and ever, but I do want to wrap up the show. Next week, what we'll do is we'll go in depth on raid bosses. Mawile is available as a level 2 raid, soloable. And as a level 4 raid, you can get Absol. So we'll talk about strategies on those next week. Was
there a shiny one caught?
It was released that you can get shiny versions of both of those raid bosses via the raid system. So
this weekend, I saw people in our local raid group. A girl had caught one, got one, and she was like blown away. She's like, "Oh my God, I got a shiny from a raid!"
So Mawile is totally soloable. So that's going to be a cool. Typically, I won't stop at a level 2 and do it myself unless I like just want to burn a pass for the day or something. But you better believe that every single Mawile level 2 that I see, I'm going to do, because I want. Mawile is an awesome looking Pokemon to begin with, and the shiny is amazing looking. But I'll put links to the picture so you can see him. But dude, so much information, so much head explosion.
So much good time. So go out there and have fun. Play the game.
Well, yeah, let's wrap up this show with a bow. Call it a present. Hashtag Delibird hype.
Definitely check out GottaWatchEmAll.com for links to everything that we're doing. If you're on iOS, please leave us a review. You can do it right from the iOS podcast app. We would appreciate that. We'll give you a shout out if you do. And you can find us on Twitter at GottaWatchEmAll. And Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. Adam's on Snapchat. Gotta watch him. Add him on Snapchat so you can do silly stuff.
I think I just added you on my personal account.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Delibird hype going on the Snapchat stories sooner than later, because it's going to be funny. He said the world wouldn't be ready for the amount of Delibird content he's going to be making. So keep a lookout for that. I can be found personally on Twitter at ProudGamerTweet. Melissa, where can they find you?
At Super Sweet Miss.
And Adam?
At oh, just kidding. At PhoenixBack45.
So thanks so much for listening. Next week we'll dig into the raid bosses. We can't wait to talk about them. We'll see you guys then. Thanks so much. Peace. Later.
Present.
Bye.
Present.